Hey everybody, Tim Donnelly here from 99.9 The Fan with the first installment of North Carolina Sports Betting 101. If you are living here in North Carolina, like so many of us are, about 3 months ago, sports gambling, mobile sports gambling, became legal in our state. And as somebody that works in sports media, we were anticipating questions, right? So the questions I was anticipating was maybe more greedy. How do I make money? How do I win bets? Who should I be betting on? Why didn't I know? Why didn't you tell me that NC State was going to go on a Final Four run? I could have been rich. But in actuality, over the last 3 months, the questions we've been asked have been a bit more simple. They've been, how do I do this? Or if I just want to pick a team to win, what do I bet on? What do all these numbers mean? How, what, who, when, where, why? So we thought we would break it all down in a series we're calling North Carolina Sports Betting 101 with Tim Donnelly, and there's no better place to start than the most simple bet possible. Today we're talking about betting the money line. And the reason why I say this is the most simple place to start is because it's the type of bet that most resembles the bets you make with your friends, right? Hey, I bet I can, throw this rock against that tree when you're a kid. $5? It's the bet that most resembles that. Now, in that case, right, you bet $5, you can win 10, which would be your original 5 and the 5 from your friend. You're not going to get exactly that. It's a bit more complicated, but at its root, a money line bet is essentially that. The only difference is it comes with something called odds. And the odds, when you look at it, are going to look like a plus number or a minus number. Plus 200, minus 110, plus 350. And I'm going to explain to you what those mean. But first, I think, we could go on our DraftKings Sportsbook here, if you're looking at the screen. And I thought we would pick something like the Carolina Panthers Saints season opener because it's way ahead of that game actually getting started. We're here in the football offseason, and you have all the numbers here to the right. Now you're going to see things like this right here, +5, -5. That's the spread. Over under 40.5. That's the over under. We'll get to those in future videos. But for right now, we're looking at these numbers all the way on the right. +170 and -205. If you are a plus on the money line, that category, that column over there is called the money line. If you are the underdog, which means less likely to win, right? The sportsbook has set you as not the favorite. You're going to see a plus number next to your name. The Carolina Panthers. Again, we're in Carolina here. Everybody knows what's kind of up with them. It makes sense that they are a underdog. They're +170. What that means is if you bet $100 on the Carolina Panthers, you will win $170 for a total payout of your stake, the $100 that you bet, plus the $170 in winnings, $270 coming back in your direction. So that's a nice little bet, though. That's a nice little bet, little payout, right? The reason why these numbers are all set in hundreds, it's very simple. It's a round number that's very easy to do math with, right? So all the money lines are kind of centered around 100. It'd be weird if it was centered around 76 because we'd all need calculators and it would be very confusing. So they pick 100 and it just kind of goes with that. So if you bet $100 on the Panthers win the game, you get a $270 payout, including the $100 stake and the $170 in winnings. Same is true if you scroll up here a little bit for the Patriots. They're seen as a bigger underdog to the Cincinnati Bengals, so they're +320 if you see it there. If you bet $100, you're going to get $420 back, the $100 stake, plus the $320 in winnings. If you look at the Saints, though, the Saints are the favorite, -205. Now, you may be saying, I don't want to bet $100 to lose 205. That's not exactly the case. It's kind of in reverse. If the number is a minus, right, so -205, if you look at the Bengals from our previous example, -410, that's how much you have to bet to win $100. So if you bet $205 on the Saints and the Saints win the game outright, you win $100 for a total payout of $200. The $100 original stake plus $100 in winnings. The 200, you'd be a payout. Let me rewind that real quick. You'd have to bet $205 to win $100. So the payout would be $305, the $205 in original stake, plus the $100 in winnings. It is all based around 100. If you see a plus, that's what you will win if you bet 100. If you see a minus, that's how much you have to bet to win 100. It is the easiest way to think about it. It is the easiest bet to make. It is the bet we grew up making as a child. I want to pick a team to win, and that's my team. If you want to bet on your Panthers, feel free. Could be a little bit more risky. Why? Simply because the Panthers don't win a lot. At least they haven't as of late. The other thing I want to bring up real quick here is something called minus 110. It is a very popular bet, right? If two teams are seen as pretty evenly matched, it's going to be very close to minus 110. And all that means is it's essentially a pick'em, but the sports book's going to take their little bit of the juice. They're going to take their cut, so it's not going to be a straight bet $10, win $10 bet. It's going to be bet $100. You're going to have to bet $110 to win $100, and then that $10, right, for those losing bets is just kind of what the sports book takes to make a little bit of cash. So minus 110 is very popular. You'll see that often. If you bet $100, you'll win $90.91 roughly for a $190.91 payout. That's why you're very rarely going to see those one-to-one payouts. You're going to see minus 110. It's just kind of the way that the sports books stay operational and don't get too far behind. So that's a little bit about what's a money line bet. It is the most simple. You'll hear many sports books like DraftKings encouraging the beginners, right? If you're new to this and you're daunted by some of the more complicated bets that we're going to get to later on in this series, the parlays, the same game parlays, the teasers, whatever it is, you can always start just by picking a team to win, letting it ride, and everybody has an opinion on who's going to win, right? So you place the bet, and now you'll understand how much you're going to win. That's the first edition of North Carolina Sports Betting 101 with Tim Donnelly.